You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hi, General Hospital fans. Well, I was completely shocked to hear Austin Gatlin-Holt's name after all this time. And when I did, I thought, holy heck, are we getting a twist? Are they really about to solve this murder case that is a very cold case? Ice cold. 15 months of it sitting on the shelf unsolved. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we're going to talk about where they're going with Josslyn Jacks, the murder of Dr. Austin Gatlin-Holt, and how it all ties back to Cyrus Renault and also to Jack Brennan. And please click subscribe if you're not following us. Okay, let's talk about this. So if you have forgotten what happened right before Austin was gunned down, let me remind you. Dante Falconeri and Robert Scorpio met at the PCPD in the interrogation room. They were talking about their case against this mystery boss they didn't know at the time. Dante told him that Austin said he's got info on Mason and the mystery boss, which we all know, of course, was Cyrus Renault. And this was all in conjunction with Ava's kidnapping and some other dirty deeds at the time. So Dante told Robert that Austin would give him the info and the name for an immunity deal so he doesn't go down for Ava's kidnapping or any of these other crimes. And Dante said Austin was desperate to testify and put his boss away before his boss knew he had testified. And Dante suggested they go ahead and make the deal. And Robert said, if you get the boss's name and you get the evidence, Austin can have the immunity deal. If you also remember on that episode, Austin wouldn't give Dante the name until he got the guarantee that he wouldn't be prosecuted and wouldn't have to testify. Austin told Dante that I'm a dead man if my boss finds out I gave him up. So it was all about the timing. Dante promised to work on the deal, and Austin was supposed to go get the evidence and bring it back to take down his boss and, prove what his cousin Mason was doing. But Austin never made it back to the PCPD from his little cabin because somebody he knew was there and gunned him down. Austin said, "What are you doing here?" It was clearly somebody he knew, but that he wasn't expecting to be in his house. And then gunshots to the chest, and that was the end of it. That was November 18th, 2023, and not one bit of closure since then. But now that Josslyn is poking around to find proof that Cyrus killed Dex, she is going to be at that cabin soon because Cyrus is using Austin's cabin. So I mentioned in the last video on Thursday that I suspect Jack Brennan is testing Josslyn to see if she might be a WSB recruit. That's my theory on what he's doing. No guarantee, but that's the only thing that makes sense to me right now. And I still think after watching him artfully lead her along to, find her own info and run the investigation herself, that's still the conclusion I draw. The good thing is that Joss asked Jack to keep it secret from her mom, which of course Jack wants to do because Carly would be pissed and he's going behind her back. And of course, Jack already knows about the cabin that Cyrus is using as his second base of operations, which he is encouraging Joss to find because if you remember, Jack and Colette were at the cabin, but he said, we're not going to go in. We're going to see if Joss can find it and see what she does. So while she was Googling around, or on GH as they do, spider find, she came across Austin's name tied to Cyrus and started looking into it. And of course, she turned around and asked Jack to run property records, which he doesn't even have to do. He'll give Joss the address to the cabin because Jack wants to see what she's going to do next. And I still think he's hoping Joss will either, kick Cyrus's ass and call the cops or collect enough evidence to nail him, or maybe that Joss will kill Cyrus herself and then she would play right into Jack's hands and whatever he's plotting. But along the way in all of this, even though Joss is chasing digitalis deaths, I do suspect we're going to get closure on Austin's death finally as well. As we all know, Austin's boss was Cyrus, and Austin was about to flip on Cyrus to get a deal and avoid prosecution. And Mason couldn't have killed Austin because he was in GH and chained to a hospital bed. And if you don't recall, in the aftermath of the shooting, somebody was tormenting Ava, sent her a photo of Austin taken right after they shot him, and then they also sent her the murder weapon. And not only was this Austin murder thing swept under the rug, so was the whole topic of who was sending Ava creepy messages and packages. Both of these things slid from the front burner to the back burner and then completely off the back of the stove, and now they're under there just forgotten. You know, Austin's murder's forgotten ever since, never to be spoken of again until this week. So when talking to her uncle Lucas Jones, we heard Joss tell him that Austin Gatlin-Holt testified to help Cyrus get out of prison. And if you don't remember that was several months before he died. Austin was key to the compassionate release that Cyrus obtained after he had that coronary during the fight when Drew saved him, which he obviously shouldn't have. And that let him out of prison way earlier than he should have been. Lucas had never heard of Austin because he never worked with him at GH, and that was when he was gone, I don't know, recertifying in some different kind of specialty. Anyway, Lucas definitely knows Cyrus and how dangerous he is. So once Jack gives Joss the evidence to find the cabin, I expect she's going to creep out there and poke around. And the thing is, Cyrus already knows somebody was in his little decoy apartment because Joss got in there. So he may be on high alert. I hope he doesn't have cameras inside his dirty cabin of diabolical secrets. Not that that would stop Josslyn. I'm sure she's going to go break in. And I do wonder if she finds evidence of Cyrus doing these digitalis killings, but also some evidence to put him away for Austin's murder. It's always nice when a soap ties off long, lingering loose ends, and they do it in a way that's convincing and not just cauterizing it in an implausible way to shut up fans that are complaining about loose ends. So I am truly excited to hear Joss mention Austin's name. Not really because I give two flaming rat behinds that he died. He was my least favorite Roger Howarth character ever. I just really hate loose ends and dropped plots. Now, if only Joss could also close out another unsolved case while she's digging through the cabin. I'd be thrilled if Joss poked through Cyrus's cabin, found, 5 vials of digitalis, a pile of syringes, a list of people he's killed with red X's, and a video of Sonny shooting Agent Cates, because that's another cold case that is long overdue for solving. I don't even know what GH was thinking, having Sonny kill him, because we know that they were never going to prosecute him for that. They're not going to take out their main character for this rogue FBI agent, but likewise, the feds aren't going to forget an agent was murdered in Port Charles, even an agent as rogue and weird and aggressive as John Cates. But unless they can pin it on a patsy, I think this is a case that won't be solved. But this other one just might be, because while Joss is poking around, let's hope she solves not just the digitalis deaths, but also the cold case of Austin's shooting while she is at it. That would definitely prove that she's capable of whatever it is that Jack seems to be wanting to find out if she can do, because he's prodding her down this path. But yay, 3 cheers for Joss bringing Austin's killer to justice, since it is the same guy who killed Sam and Dex and tried to kill Michael and probably a whole pile of other lonely, sick people. Cyrus is one twisted puppy, and he needs to go down.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.